What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it is my review of Hades 2, the most recent game coming from Supergiant Games. Came out on September 25th, 2025, and it is a sequel to Hades, which is one of the most well-received video games of all time, but also roguelites of all time, and it is Supergiant's first sequel. And so much hype surrounding this game. It was in early access for I think over a year, maybe close to two, maybe around a year and a half. Finally hit that 1.0, and I have a lot to talk about, a lot to say about Supergiant's first sequel being Hades 2. So without further ado, let's dive in. Want to talk really quick about my background with Hades, so you know where I'm coming from with my opinions, and kind of my background with roguelites in general. So on the channel, I did document and make a video on my first time finishing Hades. Hades is a game that I remember playing maybe around when it came out or a little bit after on my Xbox. Played a little bit of it, enjoyed it, but never got into it. I dropped it, never came back. I can't remember how much time I had put into it. Probably somewhere in the vein of maybe 10-20 hours. But I know I didn't really get that into the game. And then this last year, maybe the middle of the year, I decided I want to get into Hades. I've heard so many good things about it. Roguelites I've dabbled with, I've never really gotten into. I've always enjoyed them, but I've never played one a lot. I've never really gotten into a roguelite. Hades was on sale, decided to snag it on Steam, and a few months later, I think it was August, September, put 50 hours into it, rolled credits, and loved my time with Hades. I made a video of ranking every game that I finished for the first time last year, and Hades was on the top of that list. I loved everything from the art style and the visuals. The soundtrack was fantastic, but the gameplay was so addicting. It did so many things to keep things fresh. No run was the same. I mean, it was such a great, fantastic masterpiece of a video game that I will be playing for years and years and years. I will always have it downloaded on my computer because I know there's still so much to see and do. Even after putting 50 hours into the game, there's still so much to do. So with Hades 2 being in early access, with me in early access, I usually like to wait until the full game comes out. If I play the game in early access, I'll kind of dabble in it, get my fill, but then I know that there's a full 1.0 release coming, so I decided to hold back and wait for that release. Hades 2 had on my wish list when it was in early access, but when this 1.0 got announced, I was all in. I was there, I think, close to day one, maybe a couple weeks after because I was finishing some games, but finally got around to playing Hades 2 and ended up finishing it in early January, put 50 hours into it, rolled credits, and now let's get into my thoughts on Hades 2. First thing I want to talk about and get into is the most important part of a roguelite, and that is the gameplay. Something that Hades 1 absolutely knocked out of the park. The gameplay was so smooth, it felt so tight. Every move felt like it was your move, and if you screwed up, it was your fault. And Hades 2 takes that and makes it better in almost every way. First and most importantly, something I didn't really realize the importance of until I went back and played Hades 1 was the addition of a sprint. Hades 1 did not have a sprint. You just had your base run speed, and then you could increase your movement speed with boons. But Hades 2 introduces a sprint right off the rip, and it makes things so much faster and more fluid. It just makes the game feel so much better. I did not realize how important the sprint was until going back and playing Hades 1 and realizing just how smooth Hades 2 feels, including that addition of sprint. But you're pretty much getting the same gameplay formula. You're going to spawn in, you'll get a boon or some sort of starting reward, and then from there you'll fight through rooms with different enemies, different amounts of enemies, different combinations of enemies, different layouts, and each room that you go through gives you the choice to go off of 2 or 3 different paths. Maybe there's just one path, but it lets you choose your reward based on maybe a boon from a god, or maybe coins, or health, or magic, which is also something that is new in Hades 2 is magic. Each weapon has its own power attacks, whether it be the light or the heavy attack that uses magic, and it expands on that in a lot of different ways. But your basic gameplay premise is very similar to Hades 1, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it improves on that gameplay formula in a lot of different ways, giving you more rewards to choose from, more paths to go down, and also a lot of secret and just out of nowhere moments that catch you off guard every single time, just like Hades 1 did, but it gives you more of those in even crazier and stranger ways than you could have thought.
Nice shot.
That ought to do it.
Good evening.
I saw it first. It's been too long, sister. Look at you on your great hunt. Not ideal circumstances, but you've finally begun. Know that the family has your back, surprised as they are about this.
Give up already, Jill. I know who you are. I know where you go. You shall not get there.
This magic. Chronos. I'll carve you limb from limb for this. For everything.
Be a time for song, though neither am I complaining.
Nor should you be. Hey, since you're here, why not lend me your voice for old time's sake? Let go your burdens for a bit. Not like they're going anywhere.
Lights your way through wildwood,
That's it.
twisting through the dark to find your refuge here.
Why are you glaring at me like that, little one? Uh-oh. Have I offended in some way? Got you this. If this treat is to your liking, then it means we share a bond. Of course we do. Hecuba, the honor is mine. We shall protect each other from now on.
Can't you see my brother and I are in the middle of something?
Coin for Carol.
Should have enough. All right.
Oh, come on.
Bye. We're nothing. Back when we used to spar, almost never got a clean hit in on you. You'd always slip out of the way.
What choice did I have? One clean hit from you was more than
You're tougher, yeah. Though by how much? How about I hit you right now? My pleasure. Catch.
I'm saved. A bulb of garlic.
You're the help. Oh, that's rich. Friendly word of advice, sister. Stay out of my bloody way, else you're liable to get hurt. Now scoot, and tell whomever sent you that I work alone.
So you'll end up unlocking 6 different weapons. Each weapon in Hades 2 feels so good to use, and they feel unique from one another. But just like Hades 1, each weapon has their own set of aspects, which basically gives each weapon 3 to 4 different weapons embedded inside of that weapon that make the weapon feel different, just like Hades 1 did. Each weapon feels unique, feels good to use. You can upgrade these. And one thing that Hades 2 does differently from the first game is there's a lot more resource management. There's a lot of resources to go after and track. Anything from different plants and flowers that can be used towards new upgrades. They completely ditched the Mirror of Night, I think it was called in Hades 1. We're able to do those permanent upgrades from there to make each run easier and you feel like you're getting more powerful. Those are gone, and now incantations are now a part of Hades 2. And there's a lot of different incantations, and the way that you do them and the different dialogue options and pieces of dialogue that come from each incantation being completed is really cool.
Olympus and in depths of hell. Within these crossroads, you are safe with us. Yet we would ask your service to our cause. Your will is yours, your choice is given thus. Together let us rise above our flaws. So mote it be.
These incantations can range from placing a room in a certain region that is empty and completely enemyless and has a fountain that you can use to regain health, and it gives you that reward without any combat. Or you might be able to, there's so many different things that you can get from these incantations. There is a lot, and they keep popping up and popping up, not just from a benefit to an in-game run, but also to the hub, which we'll talk about in a second, the crossroads, different upgrades and things to look at and do there as well. A lot of things can happen from those incantations, and it all stems from these resources that you need to manage and go and find. Each room has a chance of having some of these resources, and there's a little kind of light that guides you towards them, so it's not hard to miss each time that you go into a room. Even before you leave, it'll make sure that you go and find these resources. You can still fish like you could in Hades 1 as well, and there's a lot to go for in Hades 2. There's a lot to keep track of. It gives you the option to do the Forget Me Not, which tracks what resources you do and do not need for an incantation and an upgrade. So it takes what Hades 1 did with how it handled upgrades and then gives you more to go and do, more to go and find, more to track, and it gives you all the resources necessary to make it very, very easy, and you don't feel overwhelmed. Even though there's a lot to go and do, you don't feel overwhelmed because it gives you the necessary tools to be able to track it very easily and keep up with it. So the incantations are really cool. The way that it handles resources is fantastic. There's always something to go for and find in Hades 2. Also introducing the new animal companions, which I'm pretty sure there was some sort of companion thing in Hades 1 because there's an achievement for it that I never got. So if there's any kind of companion system in Hades 1, I never got to it. I played 50 hours of Hades 1, never got to it, so let me know down in the comments if there was any such thing as a companion system. But there is one here where there are 6 different animals that you can find throughout your journey in Hades 2 and kind of recruit them and have them be your companion throughout your runs in different ways, and they do different things. One of them might block enemy hits a certain amount of times in a region and also give you more resources found after you mine something, or an extra death defiance, more health, more magic, and these can be upgraded as well. There's a lot of forms of progression which we'll talk about more in a few minutes, but animals, the companions, also a great addition to be able to spice things up, switch things up. You can take different companions or just use the same companion. If you like one more than the other ones, feel free to just use that one the entire time. Another great addition to Hades 2. One huge thing that Hades 2 does, in Hades 1, there was one path. You went down one path, the same regions, and the same boss fights. You know, you had some side boss fights, but it was pretty much you went through Tartarus, Asphodel, Elysium, Temple of Styx, and then you fought the final boss. In Hades 2, there are 2 separate paths, so there's pretty much 2 different Hades games embedded in Hades 2. You can go down through the underworld to fight Kronos, or you can go up to Olympus to try and fight that boss. Man, there's so much to do in Hades 2. It just keeps you entertained throughout. If you're getting tired of going down the underworld, just go to Olympus, and you have different regions, different bosses, different enemies to fight. Enemy variety is fantastic, boss variety is fantastic. I mean, such a good idea to have 2 separate paths. So instead of just doing the same path over and over again, you have a completely different path waiting for you with different resources to find and secrets that are hidden. There's a lot of game here in Hades 2. There was in Hades 1, but Hades 2 is not shy on giving you a lot of game. There's probably so many things that I'm missing from talking about the gameplay because there's so much to it. I mean, you know, dodging around feels great. There's still the cast in the game. All the different boons that you can find from the different gods. There's new gods like Hephaestus and Hestia. Great additions. The voice acting is fantastic like it was in Hades 1. I mean, I could go on and talk about the gameplay in Hades 2. It is still fantastic. It's even better than it was in Hades 1. It takes what Hades 1 did and improves in pretty much every single way. It's so addicting. That one more run mentality. Keepsakes are back. I didn't talk about that. Lots of different keepsakes. It does a different approach to leveling them up. It goes by encounters. Once you hit that level 3, you have it maxed. You can swap them out in between regions like you could in Hades 1. I mean, everything you want in a sequel is here, and they've added new things to spice it up. There's probably a lot that I'm forgetting about when it comes to the gameplay because there is just that much. But the Hades 2 gameplay is fantastic. It feels so good to play Hades 2 just like it did in Hades 1. Fantastic gameplay all around. Now I want to talk about progression. I'll talk about in-run progression and then out-of-run progression because both are very important to this kind of game, and of course Hades 2 does both very, very well. So while you're in a run, like I kind of mentioned before, you start off, you get a first reward, you pick a weapon before you go in. If you have the animal companions unlocked, you can pick one of those. Pick a keepsake. If you want to swap up the different aspects that you use, you can go for that. There are also different things that I won't spoil, but that unlock as you progress through the game that give you more ways to play. I'll just say that. But going into a run, you'll start going through rooms, clearing them out, and you'll find resources as you go that'll help you out of run. But there are different paths you can take to choose different rewards. You'll keep going, and then you'll get to the end of region boss, and that goes just like it did in Hades 1. You'll keep doing that. In between regions, you might swap keepsakes. You'll get more health back. You'll go to the next region, and then that is kind of how the run usually goes. But there's all sorts of things to spice it up, like I mentioned before. Different encounters, dialogue options, which of course, just like Hades 1, pretty much infinite dialogue options. I mean, I don't know if, I'm pretty sure I did not see a single line of repeated dialogue, and I'm sure I probably won't for as long as I play this game. I cannot fathom how they were able to record all that dialogue, and there's always something new to see in Hades 2, whether it be in the run or out of the run, always something new happening. You'll go through these regions, and then if you make it all the way to the end of the run and defeat the final boss, you'll kind of see how things go from there. So in run, it feels great. You are always upgrading something. You know, you are finding weapon upgrades to maybe make your weapon attack twice, or maybe you find a upgrade that increases the amount of damage you do with your heavy or your magic light attack, but that uses more magic. Magic is a really cool system that this game has that can kind of determine how your run's going to go, because magic is very, very important. It lets you use these stronger abilities, your cast abilities, and how your build is going, how your run is going. If you're able to regen a lot of magic all at once, if you're running out of magic very quickly, that can really determine how far your run is going to go. Magic is very important. A lot of things are happening in a single run, and it's always going to be different enemy encounters, different rooms, the combinations of enemies. It all just flows so good, and no run is the same. But then when you go out of the run, a lot of things are happening in the Crossroads, which is Hades 2's hub. Hades 1 had the House of Hades. Hades 2 takes a different approach and kind of goes for this swampy feel to it, and man, the Crossroads are so cool. They are so cool. All your companions are hanging out in the Crossroads. You end up getting the list of prophecies like you kind of had in Hades 1, a list of things to do throughout your journey in Hades 2. You'll get rewards for doing that. That might be accepting every boon from a certain god, or completing the overworld run with every single weapon, that kind of thing. A lot of prophecies that you'll find throughout your playthrough, and that list gives you so many things to go for in Hades 2. There's a lot to do in the Crossroads as well. You have the nectar, which you can give to each character, god, or the people that are hanging around in the Crossroads to improve your relationship. You'll get cutscenes based on how high your relationship is with that person. There's also other forms of currency, like the fishing wars. When you unlock the pier, you might be able to take someone fishing and you get a completely unique cutscene. Or you have the bath salts, which you can take up to, I can't remember what it's called in Hades 2, but you can basically go and take a dip in the bath with someone and have a conversation there. Maybe give them something to go to the tavern and have a drink. A lot of ways to improve your relationship with the characters that you care most about and get unique cutscenes and dialogue because of that. And the incantations are in the Crossroads as well. Pretty much all you need is in the Crossroads. You have your plot of soil where you can grow plants, and those can turn into resources which you can use towards incantations. Those take time, which is kind of flipped into encounters, so one flower might take 10 encounters to grow. So pretty much you'll go through a run, you'll come back, it's grown, and boom, you have that. I don't know if it's called the black market or some sort of market with the broker, where you can go and buy different forms of resources, sell your fish for more resources. You have the bones, which can be used to buy those resources. Ashes are used to progress through a whole new system, which are the Arcana cards. I'm pretty sure that's what they are called, where you have this big grid of cards that you can unlock with ashes and also upgrade. And these can give you a lot of different abilities, and you can swap these out. They all have different points assigned to them, so you can increase your grasp, which is your total amount of, points that you can spend on these Arcana cards, and you can get it up to 30, which is the max. And then you can kind of tweak which cards you want to use, and that gives you more build variety, that gives you more player choice, which is fantastic. Having cards that regen your magic very, very quickly, or give you more death defiance, or you do more damage with your power attacks, or you do your power attacks faster. A lot of variety can come from these Arcana cards, which can be bought with these ashes, which you can find in runs as well. So there's a lot going on with the progression. Out of the run progression to me feels a lot better than Hades 1. Not saying it didn't feel good in Hades 1, it felt great, but they've just done so much to add to that progression and make it feel so good. Again, you have so much to go for and so many things to do and track, and it never feels overwhelming. It just feels like I have all of these reasons to keep playing this game that feels so good to play with the gameplay. Again, there's probably things I'm missing from talking about the progression, but it just feels so good to progress. You feel like you're getting stronger. You feel like you're learning more about the world and the universe and the characters and the lore just from talking to characters. It does the same thing that Hades 1 does, where you're not mad that you died because now you get to go back and talk to all of these fantastic characters again and get new dialogue and just spend time with these characters. It is so much fun to progress in the run, but also out of the run as well, and Hades 2 nails progression. Now let's talk visuals and art style. This game is just stunning. The art style and animation, just like in Hades 1, fantastic. The artist is Gen Z, who was the same artist for Hades and has been the artist for every Supergiant game. I think that's why these games are so good. I haven't played their previous 3 games, but it just feels like they get all this talent and they've kept all this talent, and it's a group of people that work so well together, and that's why every game that they have made has been so well received. So Hades art style transfers very well to Hades 2 art style, and the game is visually just stunning. Each region feels unique. It has a distinct feel to it. When you go from just the underworld to the overworld, trying to get to Olympus or trying to get to Kronos, going through places like Tartarus again, but these places have been changed, or going through, I think it's the Fields of Mourning, which is on the underworld side, or going through Oceanus on the underworld side, or going to the overworld and going through places like the city of Aphira, and that visual art style. I mean, there's just so many places and unique visual art pieces, I guess is the way to say it, in Hades 2, and each piece of art just has that feel to it, that handcrafted feel, that each piece of art has love behind it. And I mean, there's not much more I can say about the visual art style except that it is fantastic, just like it has been in Hades for all this time. I would love to see some sort of animated show about Hades with the same voice actors, the same characters, the same gods. I feel like that would be awesome, but it still transfers and translates very, very well to a video game. And again, fantastic job to the entire art team for Hades 2. Going through all of the different regions is just fantastic. I mean, I can't say more about it. Just wow. Looking up the Hades 2 regions now, obviously the Crossroads looks fantastic. Going through Erebus and the underworld Oceanus, just, I love Oceanus. I mean, it just has that feel to it. The first time that I went there, I was just stunned by how it looked. And then going to the overworld, like the Rift of Thessaly, probably saying that wrong, but this like pirate ship, you go and see each region has its own little like set piece animation that you can go and just stare at it, and it really just sets in how good this game looks.
Death to Kronos. I'll see to that. No one is more prepared. Beyond the mists of Erebus, there should be a way down. Too risky heading through Elysium, and too risky to stay. All right, it's time.
I don't want to get into spoilers about the different regions. I know I've talked about a lot of them already, but each region just looks fantastic and has its own unique feel to it, and I cannot say enough about how good the visuals and art style in Hades 2 is. Gen Z and the entire team, fantastic job once again on this game's art style and visuals. The Hades 2 soundtrack, I mean, what's there to say that hasn't already been said about the Hades 2 soundtrack? Darren Korb kills it once again. Who was surprised at this point? I mean, Hades 1, such a good soundtrack. It mixes so many different genres together that I love. And Hades 2 just does it again. It does it again. Also, Austin Wintory being involved in this game as well. Him doing some of the games like Journey as well, working with that team. Just a fantastic addition. But I could listen to this soundtrack just on repeat. There's so many good songs. I'm just going to have to give you examples because I can't. You got to hear it to believe it. Darren Korb doing every Supergiant game makes me so excited to go back and play the previous 3 games. Just like with Gen Z, the artist behind all the games, they take this talent, keep it together, and that's why their games have been so good, because they find the talent, the team works so good together, and they're able to have fantastic gameplay, fantastic art direction, and fantastic soundtracks as well. And Hades 2 soundtrack is no different. It's probably, having not played the other Supergiant games, it's going to be hard to beat Hades 2 soundtrack. I think that it is better than Hades 1, which is just hard to do because that soundtrack is so fantastic. But so many good songs in Hades 2.
Unseen, hidden in the wildwood, sheltered by the dark, the Silver Sisters await. The moon marks her passage silently, watching with the eye. of night above us all, hiding in plain sight.
Entering places like Oceanus for the first time and hearing that faint music in the background, and then as you progress through the rooms, getting closer and closer to the boss fight, it growing in loudness and sound, and finally getting that boss fight music is fantastic. Going through the city of Ephira, fantastic music. I mean, these are just examples, but every single piece of this game has fantastic music that is just going to keep shocking you throughout. And there's music I haven't even heard yet. Going through the soundtrack, just listening to the great songs, there are songs that even 50 hours in I have not experienced, because there are different variants of boss fights and they have different music for each variant. I mean, there's so much to this game that I've already talked about, and that spreads into the soundtrack as well, and songs that I haven't even heard 50 hours in. Darren, Korb, Austin Wintory, the entire composition team for Hades 2, fantastic job once again. Finally, let's talk about story. Story is one thing that I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to Hades 2, have been sort of mixed on. It's like the one part of the game that I feel I've seen people are mixed on or don't feel as strongly about the story in Hades 2 as they did with the first game. I enjoyed the story. I did not get to the true ending, so I'm not sure what that entails and what happens with that. But I did enjoy the journey that you went on. You take the role of Wintory, who is Zagreus' sister from the first game. You played Zagreus in the first game. Now you play as his sister, Wintory, who is the princess of the underworld. And your goal is to overthrow Kronos, who is the Titan of Time. He returns after being overthrown by his children. He takes over the underworld, and he imprisons Hades and Persephone and Zagreus, while your mentor, who is, I think her name is Hecate, or I'm not sure how to say her name, Hecate, or that sounds right, Hecate is your mentor, and she is responsible for taking you under her wing and mentoring you to be able to eventually overthrow Kronos, the Titan of Time. And that is what sets you off on your journey as Wintory. Your goal is to defeat Kronos. Your goal is to get your family back. And that is a very cool concept to me. Kronos is a fantastic villain, and the kind of family-based goal that Wintory sets off on is very similar to the first game with Zagreus, who wanted to escape from the underworld to find his mother Persephone. And this game kind of takes on that same role, where Wintory wants her family back, a family that she never really got to be around and be with. She was very young when all of this happened with Kronos, so now growing up, she wants that family back, and that is the goal. Everyone around you wants to see Kronos be defeated. He has done all of these bad things to take revenge on his family, and your goal is death to Kronos. That is a big part about this game. In the process of this, when you're going down to the underworld, you know, gameplay wise, progression wise, there is an entirely different way to play the game, going to the overworld, trying to get to Olympus, because Kronos has also taken the fight up there. He is fighting the gods on Olympus, and you are trying to save your family, being Hades, being Persephone and Zagreus in the underworld, but also your cousins and your family that is up on Olympus are fighting this threat that Kronos has put down on them, and going above to Olympus fighting there is also going to help them as well, and it all kind of collides into one final conflict in an ending that I thought was pretty good. I'm not entirely sure if I would say this game has a better story than Hades 1. I feel like if Hades 1 has a better story, to me it's just barely. Like, I really enjoyed where the story went in Hades 1, and I still enjoy where it goes, at least just based off of the original ending. The true ending might change those things, but this is just me going based off of the original ending. I enjoyed where things went. I enjoyed how things wrapped up. Obviously no spoilers, but I enjoyed where this story went and how it tells the themes of, you know, I guess really you kind of choose as Millennium at first, what is your main focus? Are you focused on saving your direct family, or are you focused on going to the overworld, trying to get to Olympus to save and help those pieces of your family as well? But also tells a story of revenge and Kronos being the Titan of Time. He is obviously not very happy about what his children did to him, and he's doing all these things because of that. But really it focuses on the theme of family. You want to get your family back, and you will do anything you can to do that. Run after run, just attempt after attempt. And Millennium is a fantastic main character as well, just like Zagreus was in the first game. I enjoyed the Hades 2 story. I did. I liked the way it wrapped up. I can maybe see where people are coming from, but for me, I enjoyed what I got out of it. And when the credits rolled after 50 hours, I was definitely I was happy with where things ended, and I did enjoy the Hades 2 story. I thought, again, just like all the other parts of the game, very, very well done. So, what is my verdict on Hades 2? It is currently going for $30, $29.99. It's on Steam. I think it's on Nintendo Switch 2. Has yet to come to consoles, which is very surprising to me. I feel like this is a great console game, but they have yet to put it on consoles. So expect that, I'm assuming, at some point this year. But this is a no-brainer to me. $30, absolutely 100% recommend Hades 2. It's not even a full price game. It's not even half of a full price game at this point. When full price games are going for $70, this is not even half of that $70 price tag. This is $30. And what a fantastic video game this is. If you liked Hades 1, it's a no-brainer. Hades 2, absolutely. If you like roguelites, it's a no-brainer. Buy Hades 2. There is so much content that you're going to get from your $30, and you're getting a fantastic soundtrack, some of the best gameplay that you can find in any game, great characters, great dialogue and writing, fantastic visuals and progression. You're getting the whole package for just $30. I am super happy with what I got out of Hades 2, and Supergiant is becoming one of my favorite developers out there right now. I cannot wait to go back and play their older games. $30 is a no-brainer. Probably for me, out of all the 2025 games I reviewed, it is my easiest recommendation for the price and what you are getting. I would recommend this game for $70. I would, because of how much you're getting and the level of quality that you're getting from every piece of this game, and the fact that it's being sold for $30 instead. Easiest recommendation of 2025 for me, even though it's 2026. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely 100% recommend Hades 2. It has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. It's got 96%, and that is well warranted. Absolutely recommend Hades 2. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, hanging out, and talking about Hades 2. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let's have a discussion. Tell me all about your thoughts and opinions on Hades 2. I absolutely love this game. If you couldn't tell, every part of it was just so good. And just like with Hades 1, this is a game that I'm always going to have downloaded on my computer. It somehow is a smaller game than Hades 1, even though Hades 1 I think was, I want to say, like 10 gigs on PC, maybe console download sizes are different, and Hades 2 somehow gets to like 8 gigs. Don't know how that's possible, but again, something that I'm going to keep on my computer forever. I'm going to keep going back to it hopefully at some point in my lifetime get the true ending, but this is a game I'm always going to have downloaded, and it is one of my favorite games of all time. I love Hades 2 and absolutely recommend it 100%. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll talk to you later.